let's talk crochet. Hey folks, it's Mary, aka MercyTriumphs, and this is my channel Slow Crochet. This is episode 031. Today I am giving you an update on works in progress, finished objects, and anything else in my little crochet world. This week, I only have 4 projects that I'm going to share with you. Although 2 of them are new starts, one of them is a long-awaited finish, and one of them continues to be a work in progress. I'm going to get started with that one real quick. This is my current work in progress. It is my neon Christmas sweater, and it lives in this kind of scrap basket. And I did end up making it out to Joann's because I was desperately in need of some more Red Heart Super Saver white. I got the bigger ball of it because I figure you can never have too much of your basic standard white around. And since I didn't have any, clearly I needed more because there will be other projects in the future when this one gets used up. So I have not attached this to the main part of the sweater. And the only thing that I did was I got mostly done with this first sleeve. Now I'm going to drop in some footage right here of me kind of modeling where I'm at so far in this sweater. I'm really glad that I now have some extra white because I would love to finish out the bulk of the sweater and then be able to do the other sleeve. I want to get all of my little balls of black taken care of, finish all the color work within the main body of the sweater, and I would like to be able to do the cuffs in black and do the waistband, all that kind of stuff. But it is coming along, and when it is done, I will be really thankful because there's more things I want to do, but I want to only have a few works in progress at a time. This is the Maud Christmas sweater by Breann Mauldin, and the link to that pattern will be in the description below. I have 2 projects that I actually started this week. Both of them involve the yarn that I purchased back in Peoria, Illinois. And if you're interested in that little yarny trip adventure, I will put a link to that video in the description as well. While on that little trip, I bought 2 balls of yarn. One of them was quite a bit larger than the other. I'll start with the small one. Mojito Merino in the color Cobalt. Now this is a 191 yards 4-weight yarn. It comes in 50-gram balls, and it's 81% wool and 19% nylon or polyamide or other fibers. So I had tried to work with this in the past with a very kind of textural, elaborate project, and it didn't work out, so I frogged it back, and I thought I would just do a very basic beret. And this is what I have so far. I am not following a pattern to this. I am just doing a basic circle, but the yarn itself has got kind of that nubby texture, kind of the bumpies, and I didn't want to overcomplicate this design. I just wanted a wonderful basic blue beret. I think the color is lovely, and I'm just doing half double crochets. I think I started with a magic ring with 12 in the ring, and then I did your basic increase going out. I don't even know how long I went. I was kind of going by eye to see how big I wanted it, and I've just now started to pull it back in. So this is a project that is pretty mindless. It is great for in the car or listening to a sermon. Soon it'll be done, and I think it'll be a great addition to my beanies and berets. So work in progress number 2, but it's the new start for this past week. The other project that I started was using the other ball of yarn that I got in Peoria, and that is Serdar Jewel Spun Aran. It's a 200-gram ball of yarn. It is approximately 546 yards, and it is a roving style yarn. This color is number 845, or called golden green. And here is the shawl that I've begun. And it's all these wonderful woodsy golden green with some aqua thrown in there, some nice turquoise. The pattern that I'm mostly following is called Neptune's Tears. It is an older pattern, and I found reference to it on Ravelry, but in order to find the pattern itself, I had to use the Wayback Machine, so I'm not entirely sure how accessible it is, but it's a pretty straightforward pattern. And I wanted this one to be a little bit thicker, not quite so lacy. So there are some chunks of just straight up double crochets. There are some chunks of some chain kind of mesh in there as well. So this one I am using a size K hook, which is a 6.5 millimeter hook. I'm using my standard boy, and I like how it's coming along so far. I am having to think about it a little bit, but not too much. Y'all, I'm really excited to be working on a shawl. Again, I've been doing so many sweaters and small projects and other things, but it's wonderful just to be working on a shawl. This one will not stay for me. It has a particular person in mind, and I'm hopeful that I will be able to finish it in the next couple of weeks and get it gifted right as the season is starting to change. Now, one thing I am doing within this pattern is I don't really like 6 or 7 rows of straight up double crochets. So I've been breaking that up a little bit with a double crochet in the first stitch and then chain one, skip one stitch, and then double crochet in the next. So that is my second work in progress. That is ongoing. The third project that I'm sharing with you. The final project. The final project, the big reveal. It only took me months and months. I think I started this thing in April, y'all. And what is it? Middle of September. It is my afternoon at Pemberley dress, and it is done. This big old chunky thing is done. Let me go ahead and drop in some footage of me modeling it while I talk to you about the process. The story of this dress starts with sugar wheel cottons in the color Snow Capped from Hobby Lobby's most recent clearance. Now, it was an act of prayer, honestly, to find these, because when I first heard that the Hobby Lobby clearance was happening, I started getting anxious, right? You get that fear of missing out. I was already seeing people showing their yarn hauls, and I had been thinking I wanted to make a beach holiday dress with the hopes that my husband and I will get to go away for a nice vacation together without children and be able to enjoy that. So I was praying about this. I was thinking about what I would like to make. Anyway, I got to Hobby Lobby at 11. I went straight back to the yarn section, and sure enough, there were 7 of these DK weight sugar wheel cotton solids in white. Now, I don't know that at the time if I had seen if anyone else had it in white, and I know that over the course of the markdowns, I went to a couple of different Hobby Lobbies within the area, and never again did I find white, and rarely did I see any other of the sugar wheel cottons. Was that an answered prayer? I think it was. I count it as such. The dress was from the book Austentatious Crochet by Melissa Horozewski, and all of that information will be in the description. I did some major mods on this. I didn't follow her pattern exactly in that I did some shaping both in and out so that it's more of an hourglass shape more than just a straight up and down kind of rectangle shape. I also added a button on one of the sides at the corner so that it would be easier to get in and out of. And I just sewed the button there, and then I can slip it in just as you would within the shell pattern itself. So there's nothing else, there's no specific buttonhole there. The other thing I did was after it got to about knee length, I started going from a size H hook up to a size I. And then finally for the last 8 to 10 rows or so, I did a size J. And so it naturally kind of flared out, not as a pronounced mermaid shape, but just enough to kind of give me a little bit more flexibility as I moved around. I did not want to be in something really restricting, and I also didn't really want to stretch out the cotton that much. This is definitely a special occasion dress. I do wear it with a knee-length full slip, so even though we'll be on a tropical vacation, it still will be modest. Or it would be an exceptionally modest swimsuit cover-up, in my opinion. But we shall see. I might not want to risk it. So I ended up going through 6 of these. I ended up getting, I think, 3 different dye lots. But for this dress, I was able to rotate the dye lots back and forth because I think I had 3 of one dye lot, 3 of another, and then another 7th. That 7th I had already used for a different project that I did before this channel began. The only yarn that I have left is about this much, so this will be great for some maybe amigurumi projects, some little presents that I still want to make up for Christmas. But this yarn itself, it is 5 ounces or 142 grams, 335 yards or about 306 meters. It's a lightweight number 3, so a DK weight, and it is 100% cotton. These were originally $6.99. I got them for $1.87 each at Hobby Lobby's clearance. And y'all, I am busting through my Hobby Lobby clearance. I'm busting through the yarns that I most recently purchased, and it really makes me glad. I love to be able to work from stash to complete projects. You don't buy yarn that you don't like, right? You want to work with it, and so it makes me happy to be able to have the yarn that I've loved and be able to see it come full circle and come to fruition. Now we wait for the trip to be planned. We have our passports, and hopefully I'll be able to report in the next several months that that vacation is indeed happening. So those 4 projects are the only things I have to report on with you this week. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for however short this little video was. If you are new around here, I'm really glad that you're here. Thank you so much for stopping by. There are some lovely folks in the comments that are super encouraging and wonderful, and I see y'all. Thank you. I want to say hey to subscribers old and new. You guys make my day. I really appreciate y'all just being part of this YouTube adventure with me, and I really am so thankful that I get to be part of your lives. It is such an honor. If I'm not your cup of tea, thank you so much for listening this long. I do appreciate it, and I do hope I will see you again soon. Bye.